How can I put on a bunch of makeup and still look relatively the same? um, I am just so bored today and have been bored for the last few days. Decided to spice up my makeup look so I can see something different when I walk past a mirror or something. Um, I wanted to come to you guys today and give you some tools that you could use in your everyday life that were given to me by licensed therapists. Um, if you don't know, I suffer with borderline personality disorder, among other things, ADHD, major depression, with psychosis, um, bipolar, insomnia. So I have a lot, and this is all trauma induced mental illnesses. Some were passed down from my mother and my family, but a lot of them were trauma induced. The ones that affect my life, like the BPD, borderline personality disorder, affects me the greatest. It affects me in my everyday life. So these were tools that were given to me throughout my extensive years with inpatient treatment. I have been to several mental institutions, long-term inpatient places, lockdown facilities. Yeah, I was like a ward of the state of Alaska, and they sent me away. They called me crazy and sent me away. And because of this, when I was in these places, I was basically force-fed antipsychotics, antidepressants, anti-thises, and anti-that's. And now I have like trauma, medical trauma, where like I don't trust I don't trust things like that. I don't trust medicine because that's a whole nother story. I just don't trust it. And I understand that some people do benefit from medicines, and I have benefited before in the past from medicines, but I've also been very, very scarred mentally by a lot of these medicines. And so anytime I go to talk to therapy, or anytime I go to talk to a therapist, I'm always requesting things like ways to do stuff, because when you go to treatment, it's like an active thing. Well, my treatment's always been like active, like we make a plan and we go there. It's not like here's some meds. Like if it's just like here's some meds, never see you in 2 weeks or see you in a month, I usually stop going to those places because it just shows the lack of care from the doctor. But the tools that I want to give you for situations that you might find yourself in. A lot of the times my BPD causes me to dissociate, which means it's like watching my body being taken over by this different person, where I am watching it go on. It's like I know it's happening, but I can't stop it. It's like trying to stop a crashing car, a car in a car accident at like 100 miles an hour. It's impossible almost. Unless I can like remove myself from the situation and check. Okay, so this is what my therapist would always tell me to do. She would say, check your surroundings. When you feel yourself going into that panic state, this can be induced from anxiety, and a lot of different things, where your heart starts to race, your legs start to feel funny, you start to feel like everyone can see inside your head. She said in that moment, you really need to stop and check in with yourself. Check in and tell your body, because your body is reacting with emotional trauma, like a trauma response. It's letting you know, hey, this situation is familiar, and last time we were in this situation, some fucked up shit went down, and we're not trying to do that again. And so your body is going to send you all these warning signals. My hands and my feet will sweat. I'll start to feel like I'm walking on stilts, and like everyone's watching me. I start to get this pit in my stomach, and I feel scrambly. I feel like it's too much sensory input, or it's too much sensory exposure. And so I start to just like dissolve in myself, and I feel so panicked that my mind, it created a split because it couldn't handle it in the past. But she said to, if you can check in, if you can stop, if you can recognize what's going on, and you know, make sure you like pay attention to where your feet are. Your feet are on the ground. Okay, that my body, I'm safe. You have to tell yourself these things. Like you could say it in your head or out loud. Say, I'm safe. This is just a natural response. Everything is okay. I'm in control. And you can actually, if you do this enough and you catch yourself enough, and you can actually rewire your brain. It takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of honesty, and it takes a lot of being open to criticism, and acknowledging the things about yourself that you really hate, or that you just don't like, or you wish you could change, but you just can't. No matter how hard you have tried, you just can't change it. Hold on, I lost my train of thought. But yes, getting honest with yourself, and recognizing that your body is on almost like a survival mode. When you experience a lot of trauma, when you come from a really tough place and a lot of fucked up things have happened to you, you could be using your coping mechanisms. You could be doing things to cope with this trauma and this pain and this feeling of separation within you. It could feel, it's scary to deal with, but you can actually, if you just talk to the people around you who are closest to you, communicate with them, let them know what's happening and that how they can help. So for me, I have to communicate to the people around me that if I start to display behaviors that are symptoms, classic symptoms of BPD, irritability, anger, lashing out, if I start to display things like this, questioning my environment, questioning you, because my mind naturally just wants to read between the lines, even if there's nothing, even if you're not even like saying anything between the lines, like my mind's like, oh, we got to figure this bitch out. We got to be suspicious, because in the past, my mind, like, it's created a sense of unsurety. Like, I don't know when to trust my mind sometimes. I don't know when somebody's playing me so hard that I'm just like blind to it. But you have to, if you can tell the people around you that if they don't engage, because with me, if people engage with me, like if I say something off the wall, just out of the blue, and it's like, where the hell did that come from? Like, if you engage with that, I can't really stop it. I can't, like, and I'm not saying don't defend, like, I sound like a bitch when I say stuff like this, but it's like, I don't know what else to do, because it's like, if I don't have anybody to react to my weird, off the wall, suspicious brain, then it doesn't go any further than that. So it's almost like I'm trying to tell you not to stand up for yourself, but that's not true. It's like, if you can catch me when that moment is not there, and just let it pass, and then after I'm okay, because if nothing catches the attention of the BPD, that's what it feels like. If the BPD doesn't get noticed, if the weird behavior, if the off the wall comment just gets looked past, then usually I can understand, I can see what I'm doing. I can see that, oh my God, why did I just say that? And then I'll acknowledge it usually. So it's a fine balance, because I can control myself up into a point. But I feel like the other person is really like trying to dig their heels in and, make it a big giant deal, when to me it's like an involuntary behavior. Then I get defensive and I get into, what are you talking about? Like, because I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. Like, I can see it after somebody points it out or after it happens, but it's like involuntary almost, like these thoughts, and they just come out of my mouth. And, but yeah, you have to check, be open and honest with the people around you of what you're going through, and tell them, what the behaviors are, the symptoms, the things you experience, and really try to be open and honest and vulnerable with people. Obviously only people who love you, because there have been situations where I have opened up to people and they just use it against me. But if you can, like, a good thing a thing that has really helped me over a course of months is anytime that I have felt anger or just any kind of hostile emotion, I carry around a miniature journal in my purse. It's always with me. If I don't have access to that, I'll just write anywhere. I will try to think of and write down anything that I'm grateful for in that moment, because what you're training your brain to, instead of going so far left to the negative and thinking of the worst case scenario, you can actually start to pull your own self back from that. You can start to reason with yourself, and you can let your body know that, hey, we're safe, we're all good, everything's cool. Calm down, take a few deep breaths, really try to ground yourself. Go touch a tree, go sit down, on the concrete, or sit on the steps and touch the earth. Really get in tune with your surroundings and feel comfortable. Try to get to a point where your mental illness or the things you suffer with don't hold you hostage with shame and guilt. There is always somebody out there experiencing what you are experiencing or have already experienced it. And a lot of the times when people are trying to help you, it can come off as they think they know better, or they think that, their way is the best way. It's what has worked for them. So they're really just trying to help you. So if we can all just drop our defenses and really be open to compassion, it could really help a lot. And I think we would all benefit from it if we could get honest and really see each other with compassion. But I just am trying to help people alchemize their pain into their greatness. I am trying, because I'm doing the same thing for myself. I am overcoming things, and I have overcome things that were sure to have killed me. And anytime I turn around, things get good. You have to learn to ride the wave of life. Life is not all highs and it's not all lows. It's both. So I love you guys. I hope this reached somebody. I hope it helps somebody. I'm trying to help you guys while helping myself. So if you have any input or anything that could help me, or anything that you would like to say to anybody else, leave it down below. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.